Greetings everybody, Admiral Neelix here, and welcome to Blue Star. This is a new game called Nova Space Armada. It's been out a little while and I just started playing it a few weeks ago. I have my team, and so some of the newer players on this newer server are asking how to make their ships a little more powerful. Now, through trial and error in making this video, I can't seem to make it under 15 minutes, so we're going to have to do a little bit of pretending here, just so that I can try to keep it around that 15-minute mark and not go over so much. So, what you came here to find out is how to make your ships and fleets stronger. So on the right here in the floating diamond, we're going to go ahead and tap that. We're going to go ahead and go to fleets. Now, I have enough slots here for 3 fleets. We're going to keep it at the 1 right now, just for the sake of this video, and get it going. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on that fleet, on Edit Fleet. And we're going to come over here and notice on the very top where it says 103,800 as the fleet strength. You'll notice that I have some exclamation points along the way on here. What that means is that the ships aren't in the spots that they're supposed to. So when you move them in the correct spots, those exclamation points go away, as you saw there. Now I just added 1,101 points to that 103,000. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and remove everything over here on the right, and I want to save it as empty. Okay, and we're going to back button, and we're going to see 3 empty fleet spots on the bottom left area. Over here on the right where it says View Ships, we're going to tap that, but first on top where it says Development, 103,800, correct? Yes. View Ships. And on the bottom left, where the red box is with the X, we're going to tap that. It's going to ask us, dismantle all the unassigned ships in the dock. Yes, okay. Now that took out every component that I had on those ships and made them brand new, basically, except for what you've already leveled up as far as hull. Okay, so don't worry about those. Everything is just fine. Now, we're going to create a fleet. I'm going to hit back, and I'm going to tap on my first slot. It's telling us that we have to assemble a ship real quick. Now, don't be deceived on what you're seeing here. Just because that ship is on top does not mean that that's the most powerful ship in the fleet that I have or in my collection. If I scroll down, I found a level 70 ship as well of a pretty good grade ship. So whatever ship you want to use as your flagship, okay, I'm going to go ahead and set this one. You use whatever you want as your flagship, okay? So I'm going to hit assemble, and I want to show you something. I'm going to hit the quick assemble button on the left, and I'm going to let it do its thing. And right off the bat, if you didn't catch it, it did not put the most powerful engine that I have in that first slot. So that's what you have to look for when you use that quick assemble button. So let's go back to engine. I have a level 5, I have a level 5 there. I'm going to tap on it so that I can see on the other side here, on the right side, that I have a level 11 engine in there. So I'm going to go ahead and tap on it and replace. Now, that just added 2,061 units of power to my ship. Now, with your engine, if you look at the top center where it says 300 out of 300, that's how many space units I have to add stuff. Imagine a car battery trying to start up 6 cars, and it won't be able to quite start up a 7th. You know, forget about an 8th at that point. So, to make room for that, I'm going to go to Units, and you'll see that I have a blank S and a blank M spot. So, keeping it on the S here, we're going to go ahead and take this guy that looks like Saturn and equip that in the S slot. That gave me 12 points of space that I can add to that 300. If I want a little more, then what I'll do is I can leave that there for now. I can go to the M spot, find its counterpart, which is a little higher grade, and now I have 36 extra points of space that I can add stuff. Or perhaps maybe I can even take out that S when I've done my weapons and my armor and add another special unit to this. What these do is excuse me, is that it provides energy. Okay, they also provide health points, which is 808 on this one, and an energy of 12. Okay, on this particular M here, it provides energy of 24 and a 2.42k of the health and energy of 24. Okay, so it already provides that. So that gives me a little play around room. I'm going to come to weapons, and I'm going to take a look here and see if everything's kosher. Everything looks okay as far as those numbers. However, all of these are some type of cannon, so it's going to be a gun. What I would like to see, and I've remade this video enough that I would like to see over here maybe a missile or two that I can add in any of these slots. I don't have any available under those letters for this particular ship, so I'm going to go ahead and let them all be cannons. But keep in mind, you don't want to have all cannons normally. You want to have a variety of weaponry. You want to have your beam, you want to have your kinetic, you want to have your laser, you want to have some type of missile. Unfortunately, I don't have any available for this particular one. And you definitely don't want to have a ship full of missiles, because those missiles take 6 to 8 seconds to cool down and fire again. If you have a ship completely full of missiles, it's going to be hit so many times before it even fires back. So you're hurting yourself by doing that, so try to avoid that. Now I'm going to go on to armor, see what it did to me there. Now these particular types of armor, we're going to go with the M. You'll see here that it says type armor, energy cost 24, health points at 14.9k, and armor of 200. Right, that's the M version of that particular kind. You'll see that it looks different from this M version, but this M guy gives me a health power of 11.2k and an armor of 238. Now, what I want you to notice is on the bottom of that thing there, it says 000 for your missiles, your beam, and your kinetics. We want to try to have something that's going to help with those kinetics. So coming on over here, I'm tapping the second one down. You'll see that it gives a resistance to kinetic, beam, and missile. Yes? So I'm going to go ahead and replace. Now, my power just went down just a hair, right? However, I have armor from this guy and some health points. I now have a kinetic, a beam, and a missile resistance to this guy with a good health power of 12.4, so I'm not too sad on that. This guy here on the L, it provides HP and armor of 212, so my armor is still looking pretty good on there. Now that's a level 10. If I were to come over here and start comparing, I want to tell you what I'm looking at here. Okay, what I did was I tapped the L and it brought up its numbers in this box here. Tap the screen to get rid of that, and then tap the one you want to compare it to on the right, and it'll show you a comparison here. On the energy cost, the health, and the armor, the white numbers that you see represent that L that's already on board. The red represents the component on the right that I'm comparing it to. And if they're red, that means they're slightly lower than the numbers I want to see. I could sit here and enhance and make that even more powerful. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead, for the sake of this video, and waste these and enhance it. And you'll now see that my health power went up a bit to 17.9. However, my armor is still a little lower. I would have to sit here and enhance it some more just to catch that up. Okay, but let's go ahead and replace, and you'll see that my numbers dropped. I'm going to go ahead and replace this and give it back its power. Units. With that S and that M that I replaced there, I have that M there. I want to see if I can replace this S with something. What I want to keep in mind is those 36 plus. Plus, if it's easier for you to not do the math, look on your bottom right where it says save. That save, it's highlighted, so that means I can save the ship as is. If I put something that's going to be a little too powerful in there, like let's take this guy out and put this guy in there instead, you'll see that it grayed out. That means I'm running heavy here. Okay, so I want to take this guy and see if I can put this here, and no, that's not enough. I'm going to have to place that M spacemaker there, and now I can save the ship as is. Now, this is what I want you to do to every ship that you start putting in your slots. I'm going to save this. I'm going to come around, and I have a ship built. I'm going to place her here and do a quick formation. It's going to throw in my Admiral, and now what you see here is a layout on this particular Admiral with her specialty. Her specialty is that as long as there's a frigate in the fleet, her ability is going to shine. Okay, now what you want to do is you'll see your wild cards, which are the blue chevrons pointing up there. You can add any ship type to that as long as it's within her power cap, or her leadership cap, rather. In the top left, you'll see where it says FF and DD. You can either put a frigate or a destroyer there. In the center, it's demanding that you put a frigate there. On the top right, it's a destroyer, a cruiser, or a battleship. So what you want to do is make sure that you put the right ships in those right slots. Now, I'm going to build another ship real quick since I have a few minutes. And let's go ahead and go with frigate. I'm going to go ahead and take this guy. I'm going to assemble him. Let's do a manual. So I'm just going to grab these from the side. Okay, cannon, missile, missile, cannon, and cannon. And I'm saying cannon, but just understand those are different kind of projectile weaponry that I'm putting in there. Shield, let's go with down here, place this in there. And where am I at? Units. Okay, so I'm going to go with the top guy. I'm going to do a second guy. You want to have as many different types of stuff in there as possible. You don't want to sit there and just stack the one kind. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit a whole lot more in here other than these S pieces. We will try. Let's go ahead and try that. Now, I'm going to have to use another S piece in there. So I'm going to replace U. Still can't save. So I'm going to come down and see if I have another. I do. All right, so now I can save it. Now, those I manually put in. And for the sake of this again, I'm going to go ahead and place this level 50. Let's go ahead and assemble him with a quick assemble. And I'm doing this on purpose. It will automatically, or it should automatically, leave empty what it can't fit, as you see there. And let's go ahead and go back to the fleet. Now I'm going to hit quick formation, okay, and it just threw those down there. My top number is 226052, okay. Which one am I trying to get here? And what's this weaker one of the two, which is here. I'm going to put that in frigate slot, and my numbers went to 226448. Now, what you want to do when you have all 9 ships in here, let's say you had this frigate down here and that frigate up top. Or if you have a cruiser down here and a cruiser up top, a cruiser down here, a cruiser in the next row up, or so, you want to grab the bottom one, you want to slide it up one, and let's put it in a wild card. You see the numbers went up a little bit, 225565, and I'm going to slide this up here on the top, and it went 226476. So that just grew in numbers just by sliding that up in its same type of ship way. It doesn't have to be matching ships precisely. It can be a different type of frigate that might be a little better or so, but you'll do that and it'll inch out those spots. Now that I'm almost out of time, do this to every fleet you have. Your first fleet is going to be your best fleet, so it's going to be loaded with all the best stuff. Your second fleet is going to have what's left over from that. Your third fleet's going to have what's left over from that, and your so on and so on. It's going to diminish as it goes. This is a way to load up your ships to get the most out of your power. Now, when you save it, what I need you to do is exit out of this, and if you've already entered this ultimate war zone, what you want to do is every time you add any kind of power to your ships or your admiral, upgrading anything to do with your fleets, redeploy, okay? The reason why you want to redeploy, and you saw that number go down a little bit because I only have the 3 ships in there, but the reason why you want to redeploy is because that deployment is going to be locked on to the last time you deployed it. So if you've only deployed it the one time when this particular event came out, then your ships and your power is still stuck on that first setting. So every time you upgrade anything that has to do with your ship, if it's a station development, you don't have to worry about it. If it's your admiral, if it's a research that has to do with weaponry, if it has a research that has to do with upgrading a ship and things like that, make sure to redeploy. Okay, so again, all those steps that you just saw me do that for every ship that you have. Put them in their right spots. tweak them out a little bit by taking the bottom one, moving it up, moving it up, moving it up, and just squeezing out that extra little bit of power. I hope this video helped you, and that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. And as always, have fun and take care. Okay, guys, as a add-on bonus real quick to this first video, I'm going to show you what I mean by sliding ships up to put them in a particular spot to make you gain a little more. So we're going to go to Edit Fleet. I've already put these ships in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ship here and I'm going to slide it all the way to the second slot here. You'll see that I just added 159 unit points to the strength, right? So I'm going to slide it up over here to the top, and you'll see now that I added 388, and so on and so on, 416. This ship can't go there because there's an exclamation point, so I'm going to slide it down one, 586, and so on and so on. So again, what you want to do is squeeze out the best points that you can possible. That went down a little bit, so I want to replace that and put it back, and go from there. 557, that went down a little bit, and it looks like that's probably going to be the best combination I can get out of what I have on that fleet right now. Should I add a battleship? Should I add a dreadnought? Of course, those numbers are going to get better. Should I add other bigger ships? As long as it's within your cap, your leadership cap. So to know what the leadership number is, like how do you distinguish that? Right here on where it says Musco Borealis, the blue ship on the left, that little 92 that's on the bottom right of that box, that's part of your leadership caps. If you have too many points, I'm going to assemble real quick. Let's go ahead and assemble, let's go ahead and do the Dreadnought. And I'm just going to do a quick assemble real quick just for the sake of this little short add-on. Hurry, 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 because I don't want this video to be too long, okay? All right, so we have that. I'm going to save it just for the sake, and let's go back. Now, you'll see at the bottom of that Dreadnought, the bottom right hand, it says 157. My cap only allows me 36 points more. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to try to put it in. It's going to tell me not enough leadership. You can level up your Admiral through following ways of, to increase your leadership, and it gives you a choice. Now, what you can do is go to your Admiral. You can level her up. That'll give you some cap, or you can go to Research, and there is a spot there that will allow you to build that up a little bit as well. So I'm going to go ahead and replace my Troy and put him back. Now, you'll see that negative up there. Just go back and hit the Don't Save button, and it'll put you back to what you had, 393, 470. All right, everybody. Again, good luck. Do this maybe once or twice a week or so whenever you have a minute to play around. Of course, that's only if you have built up ships or gotten something new. Play around with it like that, you know, and build your numbers up. Get them up there high. All right. Have fun. Take care.